Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We are live. Just checking on things. I got the Montalcino shirt on, envisioning a future trip to Italy after we get through NATO. And I'm really excited. This Friday, the first printing of my new book will be delivered to my house. I'll be taking 100 copies of my book to NADA. We have a number of dealers who've pre-ordered the book and industry leaders. I'm also going to be giving out some copies of my new book at the PCG digital booth for those who come by for a demo or an audit. And I'm also going to be speaking at the Dealer eProcess Media Center during the conference, and I'll be bringing a few copies out to that speaking event as well. So if you're heading out to NADA and want to learn more about CDPs, love to talk to you about that topic. And one of the topics I want to talk about today is what I'm seeing is an evolution of dealers understanding the importance of their first party data and what some of the next challenges are going to be surrounding micro audiences. Now, before I dive into that topic, I just want to say this is a very important conversation for any dealer who wants to activate their first party data to gain a competitive edge. Anybody who's considering going to NADA shopping for a CDP, lean in just for a moment so you understand the importance of this one topic of micro audiences. For the most part, OEM digital marketing programs deal with larger audiences because Google and Facebook have a minimum requirement for audience activation. So dealers are used to having less granular campaigns, more broad campaigns, because they have to have at least 1,000 or 2,000 people to get the Google or Facebook algorithm working. Smaller audiences, for the most part, in OEM digital marketing programs have been neglected because they don't meet Google or Facebook or Instagram's minimum audience size. Yes, dealers deal with micro audiences all the time in a related way with their CRM. The number of people who submit a lead each month are relatively small, maybe a few hundred at the average dealer. And dealers worked out a process to deal with those leads. But with a CDP and your ability to know when existing customers are back on your website, or when existing customers abandon your service scheduler or abandon your trade tool, the audience sizes are smaller. And for many dealers, they've never had an activation partner, a real-time activation strategy for micro audiences. And I believe in 2025, this will become a very important topic, not only at NADA, but at the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference in April and all year. I think 2024 was the year that, at least from my perspective, dealers were educated on the importance of first-party data and that they need a tool to organize that first-party data. I think it's been well documented how dirty dealer data is and how data hygiene and a CDP, a customer data platform, can help them. So what happens after all of the customer data is unified and updated? Now it's time to start activating, building segments or audiences. And dealers traditionally have pushed larger audiences out to Google or Facebook, maybe through direct mail, maybe through email. But I believe the big winner in the competitive game of automotive retailing will be in activating micro audiences. Each month, there may be 100 or 200 existing customers shopping on your dealership website that don't fill out a form. So what are you going to do with that information? Are you going to be able to send them a text message in real time because they're an existing customer who's done a transaction in the last 18 months? Are you able to send out a personalized email to them based on their activity on the website? Can you push that customer into the BDC to be called or to an outsourced call center like Better Car People? This is really important. Micro audience activation is where I believe the true money is, because when you have granular information on what your existing customers are doing on your website, and if you can activate those smaller audiences, you have a competitive edge. I know this is working. One of my clients is calling people who abandoned the service scheduler. And guess what? They're booking significant additional service appointments. They never knew who was abandoning the service scheduler before. With identity resolution, they now know. With the CDP, they can activate real-time audiences right to the call center. The call center calls and books. That is an example of a micro audience. There may only be in this dealer group 100, 150 abandoned service schedulers a day. But when you see how many people are actually picking up the phone and booking service, you're like, wow, who would have thought that I could do something to change my financial bottom line by focusing on micro audiences? What about your existing customers who come on your website and use your trade tool, but don't want to give you their information yet? How value is that existing customer, or that a prospect was in your CRM, it's been marked out of market or a dead lead, now they're back on your website doing a digital retailing process? The real question is, what are you going to do with these micro audiences? Those 40 trade abandoners, those 100 existing customers that are doing some shopping behavior, or those 50 service customers that are checking out service specials but have not booked a service appointment. Now, let me say that there are companies that not only have built a robust CDP, but can activate real-time marketing. I'm going to tell dealers that as they shop, don't always think that the big win is just data hygiene. Don't think that the big win is reducing the number of direct mail pieces that you send out each month. No, those are wins, not the big wins. Don't think that your larger retargeting audience or your larger loyalty audience is going to match better with Facebook and Google. It will. But let's talk about new revenue streams. And those new revenue streams are most likely going to be through micro audiences. And there are some companies that have the ability to text immediately existing customers, or to drop a direct mail piece to existing customers shopping on the website, or to push that customer into just a customer touch base phone call to see if their mobility needs have changed. We're also going to see real-time marketing when customers are off your website. Companies like Client Command and their audience on demand, their audience as a service, can allow dealers to know when their existing customers are shopping on competitor websites. Imagine now activating those micro audiences. When you know, hey, there's 150 existing customers that are right now shopping on competitor websites, what are you going to do with that? Well, it's too small for Facebook and too small for Google, but they're doing specific things. You're probably too busy to handle them in the BDC. So what are you going to do with these data ups, these signals? Dealers who have platforms that can take micro audiences from data ups, either on their website or off their website, and activate them, will have a competitive edge. And this is where I'm the most excited. Now, there could be some people out there say, Brian, we've been doing this for years. And in fact, I recently visited Cox Automotive, and they went through their entire product stack. And there was a couple things I said, wow, I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know you could drop a piece of direct mail when an existing customer is shopping back on the website and didn't fill out a lead form. I didn't know how their identity graph was so tightly connected into VinSolutions. The question is, what do you know as a dealer through your existing vendor portfolio or through maybe products you're searching for at NADA? How are you going to handle those data ups that generate micro audiences that are too small for spray and pray, or I would say digital spray painting through Google and Facebook or Instagram? The dealers who allow real-time marketing, regardless of audience size, will be the big winners in automotive retail in the days and months ahead. And I'm excited to be working on a number of these projects. Let me say one other thing. A CDP uses an identity resolution framework that is either deterministic or probabilistic or a combination of both. I also think that dealers are well advised to test automotive specific identity resolution technology that can complement existing CDP identity resolution strategies. Meaning, if a deterministic identity resolution framework will require an existing customer or prospect to click on an email or fill out a form, it's going to take some time to build up the known digital IDs for existing customers or prospects. And I'm also convinced, because I'm testing a number of the products that can supplement CDP's identity resolution framework after NADA, that, by April, I should be having some amazing data to share on how dealers can enhance and accelerate their digital resolution of their existing customers and prospects, and how to activate micro audiences generated from data ups. I'm also hoping that CRM companies are getting the wake-up call. You can say that Cox has already built data up functionality into VinSolutions, because data ups are different than leads. And I think more and more CRM platforms are going to need to have a framework on how to accept data ups or shopper signals into the CRM that might activate some workflows in the CRM in addition to marketing audience outflows. But in 2025, I think we're going to need to deal with how to handle data ups. How do we deal with and activate micro audiences? What are the best channels? Is it a phone call? Is it an email? Is it a text? Is it a direct mail piece? And how do we accelerate the de-anonymizing of data for existing customers and shoppers so we can use the workflows of the CDP? I cover a lot of these topics in my new book entitled Automotive CDPs, a planning guide for dealers. And that's what it is, a planning guide to help dealers navigate through this new area of technology. It's not new that it was just invented. It's just relatively new within automotive retail at scale. There have always been a handful of dealers using some advanced tools, but now CDPs are becoming more mainstream conversations and even part of now OEM co-op programs. If you'd like a copy of my new book, go to pashgroup.com and order that. We'll be shipping books out right after NADA. And if you'd like to set up a time to speak to me about CDPs, just reach out to me on LinkedIn or via email, brian@brianpash.com. Let's see if we have some time out in NADA, or when I get back from NADA, let's get a time on the calendar to talk about how you can activate your first-party data in large audiences and micro audiences to give you a competitive edge and to improve retention, loyalty, and lifetime value of every customer. Hope you enjoyed this thought conversation. But if you're not talking to your digital agency about Google and Facebook audiences in scale at larger numbers, and micro audiences from those data up signals you're getting from identity resolution frameworks and your CDP, you're missing tremendous opportunity to grow your business in the year ahead. Thanks for watching. And remember, my new book has a complete video series to complement the content, so you can learn along with your team in the conference room on this very important topic of first-party data management, data hygiene, and data activation to help you sell more cars in the digital age. Hope you enjoyed this. And remember, when you're going to Tuscany, don't forget to go to Montalcino. Check out PalazzoTramonti.com. Wow, the best place to stay in Montalcino. I may be somewhat prejudiced about that, but that's okay. I'm a Montalcino advocate. Great food and wine. And who wouldn't want a little Italian Tuscan break sometime in 2025? That's all for now. I'm signing off and clicking on end session.